Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to this latest episode in this Flipping Up to Ferrari series. I'm currently working on the 986 Boxster S. So, no episode last week because I was away for a few days. Back on it today. So I thought what might be good to do is have a look at these dents. I'm not going to do any paintwork today, but I'm still kind of humming and hawing about paint colours and taking it into another body shop during the week, maybe two. To try scanning it with different cameras to see if their paint systems have got a better match, because the match I'm getting from mine isn't brilliant. So yeah, but anyway, we can have a look at the dents just now. I did get a new glue dent pulling kit for the body shop, so I'll let you see that just so you can see what I'm using, and then we'll have a go at trying to improve at least this bad dent because it's actually quite annoying me. So that's the kit I got. I've only actually used it once, so I did use it on a job during the week just to see how we got on with that, and that worked out well, did a good job. So we're going to have a go at this annoying looking dent here, which is much more obvious now because I polished it. So yeah, we'll see how we got on with that. Normally what we would do is spot dent pull this, so it's like a kind of, you'll see me using it in other videos and possibly in this series, but basically it tacks on and then kind of pulls it out. It's like welds onto it. But obviously to do that you've got to take the paint off and go down to bare metal, and if we can avoid doing that, that's better, but often you do need to do that. But let's see how we get on with the glue dent puller and see if we can improve it. So what I'm going to try using for this is this attachment here. As I said, I've only used this kit once, and I think I maybe used one kit once before, so I've not really done any dent pulling, glue dent pulling, or hardly any, so we'll see how we get on. But the idea is that we glue that into there, and so that's kind of into the deepest bit, and it is kind of a line right along, and hopefully that gives good enough adhesion to it to then just pull it out. And to do that there's various different options, but what we'll probably try is using the slide hammer. So I'll kind of get it set up and put it on time lapse while I do that, and then I'll try pulling it in real time just so you can see whether it works or whether it's a fail. I'm actually just going to do it in real time because hopefully it shouldn't take too long. So I've heated up the glue gun, and I've got the little bit here, so I've got some paper on the floor so I don't make a mess. And basically it should be just a case of coating this in glue. You'll see a lot of reels of people doing this online. So I cleaned off the panel just with the really strong alcohol, not of the drinking kind, and what we're going to do is just shove this along, try and line it up. That might be a bit too much glue, but then I'm just holding it on for about 10 seconds and then give it a little bit longer for a good measure. Right, so that's on there solid. So I've got this attachment that slides over there, and then just a little slide hammer. So I'll maybe change the angle so you can, if it actually starts to come out, you can actually see it coming out. So you should hopefully be able to see it coming out if it does. That's definitely come out a bit. The only thing that's more difficult, or I find more difficult with this than the spot dent puller, is with the spot dent puller you can very easily see how far out you are, because you don't really want to pull it out too far. You make it high instead of being low. But it's still low down there, as in dented in. But we might need to move it down a little bit to get to that. So I'm going to play on the safe side, because if I get it high, then I'm going to have to hammer it in. So what I'm going to do is just take this off, and then we can have a look. So I'll take it off and then we'll go back onto normal speed. Yeah, it's actually come out quite a lot, so that's good. I think I'll probably leave the rest of it and just catch that with the spot dent puller, because that'll work very easily just to take that a little bit out, and anywhere else that it's a bit low. So I think we can move on and have a go at this. So this has been kind of annoying me as well because it's cracked, and I think I said that it was like that since the guy had it, so it's time that it was fixed, I think. So I'll unwrap this one that I ordered that straight away, and I haven't even opened it yet, so I'll get that opened and then we'll have a look and see what's involved. So this one looks good. There was a fly stuck in it, so I managed to get that out, and yep, that looks like it'll be absolutely fine. Just another tail light, so we'll have a look and see what's involved in that. It's always good to look at the fixings on the one you're putting on. So obviously we're looking for 4 nuts on this one, and probably behind some carpet or something, so let's have a look and see. Okay, so we've got 4 nuts and obviously a wire. Wow, that was easy. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt to get out. This looks like it could be a super simple thing. We're missing a nut over there, so we'll replace that. So let me get a spanner. I got a deep socket instead. Right, let's put you back on the tripod. So hopefully it should just pull out. Just going gently so I don't scratch the paint. Well, that was pretty easy. So we'll need to keep this sealed because the other one doesn't have one. And we'll put a little bit of silicone in that, just to, well, not silicone, but a little bit of adhesive. So now what we need to do is take out the actual light module. That was also super easy. That's Porsche for you. It's very good quality, and it's, well, not everything's easy to work on, but that was easy. So that could have taken much longer than that on another car. Sometimes actually just trying to get the electrical connector disconnected takes forever. So yeah, that's nice and easy. So we'll pop this lighting module into here. Just one clip, nice and simple. There we go. So I'll just go and grab some adhesive just to make sure that this seals up, and I'll also give this a little clean inside here. So I'm just going to put some sealant around this, basically because this isn't new, the seal isn't new, and if moisture gets in there then we'll get condensation, so just try and help prevent that. And I'm also going to stick some on there as well, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so I've just cleaned any debris off this, so I'm going to stick it in, stick the nuts that are there on, and then I'm going to go and find the nut to put on the one that's missing. Looks good. Right, I'll go and grab a nut, we'll plug it back in and then make sure it's working. I didn't have exactly that kind of nut, so I've just grabbed a nut and a couple of washers, which will basically do the same thing. So it's quite a small thread of nut and then it's quite a big washer, or it's like a nut with a big washer, but that's basically the same thing, but it's made up of a couple of washers and a nut. Cool. We don't need to check all the lights because it was the same light module, so we basically just need to make sure that I plugged it back in properly, which I did. So that's that sorted. So the other small thing, or hopefully small thing, I thought we might try to fix today is the roof. So it should be just a case of opening the latch and then pressing this button on the dash, and the roof should go down. But the problem is this little micro switch in here. Oh, that was really easy, I just touched it. It's not usually as easy as that. So the mechanism works fine. I did check that out when I was buying it, and but yeah, the problem is this little micro switch. So I'm not sure what's involved in replacing that, but we may as well have a wee look and see if it's something that we can fix quite quickly, because that means that you could get the roof down. I never really had the roof down on my first Boxster S, to be honest, probably because I was worried about losing hair, but I don't need to worry about that now. So maybe on a hot day, if there's any left before the end of summer, it'd be handy just to have the roof down. So I'll show you what I'm looking at and then we can see what's involved. So I got this little micro switch from Porsche. I was actually at Porsche again today. I decided to get gearbox fluid as well. So that is hopefully the culprit and the reason that it's not working. I'm going to take it out with one hand. Yeah, so that is, if this is the right bit, which hopefully should be, that's the little micro switch there, which I'm guessing, so that must fit somehow up into there, and that's the bit that's dodgy. So I'm now confused because it thinks I want to put the roof up. But what I'll do is I'll put you on a stand and I'll see. Oh, I don't need to see how these come off like that. So I can see a little bit up there. That's a different bit. So I can see a couple of Torx screws in there. So let me grab a Torx screwdriver. I don't know whether that maybe needs to come out as well, or whether that comes off. We'll soon find out when we undo the bits and then pull the plastic. So I'll go and grab a Torx and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I've got a Torx. It's a T30, just in case you happen to watch this and ever want to do it. Switch that off. Try not to lose the screw. Okay, let's have a look behind this. What's that held in with? It's like a wire. Right, okay, so it's that little bit there that we want to change, and there's a plug going into it there. So if I look at the new one, hopefully I can see how it's held in. So that is the connection side, so it should go around that way. So it looks like there's a screw hole there and at the other end. So if I go up a bit at some of those little things. Okay, so I'll need to get something to prise them off with. And I'll stick you on the tripod so that hopefully you can watch. I'm not going to bother taking this whole thing out because I need to disconnect that cable, and that cable, and sometimes trying to disconnect cables actually takes longer than whatever you're trying to do. So I'll see if I can just, obviously I need to disconnect that one, but I can see there's just a little push bit there. So what I'll do is I'll grab a couple of tools and then try just disconnecting that cable there, popping the two little bits off, and then we can see if we can't just shove that new one in. And that would be another easy fix, which is always a nice change. That'd be 2 in a row. Right, I've grabbed a couple of pick tools, so hopefully this might do both. Let's have a look at the socket. Yeah, it does look like it's just that one bit that pushes down. Actually, it's just before I break anything. Yeah, I need to not break that because that's on the plug. I wonder if it'll be easier if I pop these off. Actually, oh, there it goes. Try not to lose it. Right, that's one. I was going to say I'm going to get a flat-headed screwdriver, but probably a bit safer than stabbing my finger. Yeah, I might try and see if we can get something a bit smaller. Got a couple options here. Right, that's that off. It's been in there for 25 years probably, so try and get a straight one. This one might be a bit chunky, but it'll be easier to push it in if it's straight without, hopefully without stabbing myself. There we go, that's that off. Okay, so old one out, new one, it's from Porsche, so it'll be the right bit. Okay, let's try and see. Right, before I try putting it all back in again, I'm actually just going to try and see if this works. So that should be in the release position, because when that handle's up, that'll be pressing against it. So that should basically be open, which means that this should work. And it does, that's good. Okay, so now all I need to do is try and get this little thing back in again with these little clips, which I think might be difficult, but we'll see. Okay, so that's the new one in. I just managed to use this tiny little socket to kind of press down so that you could push down the metal without hitting the plastic in the middle that it's grabbing onto. So that seems secure. It's plugged in. We'll test it again just before I bolt it back up. Yeah, that's still working. So we'll bolt it back up and make sure that it does what it's supposed to do when it's in the lock position as well, which would be that button doesn't do anything, but there's no reason why it wouldn't, but we'll just check anyway. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so we'll try putting the roof up and then see if when I lock it, it does what it's supposed to do. The fact that the windows came straight up there means that the micro switch is working, but let's just try pressing the button anyway, and nothing's happening. So that's that problem sorted, so that's great. So yeah, so as soon as you open the handle, that's what should happen. The window should go straight down. Press the button down with the roof. So that's great. And then shut it, and the windows go up. So that's great, that's another problem solved. Remember, if you're working on a car, never say that you think something's going to be easy, because then the chances are it'll be a nightmare, but that was two really easy fixes. I didn't think that changing the rear light cluster would be too bad, but you just never know. Sometimes just getting plugs undone takes ages, so that's good result. So that's going to be the end of this episode. Not loads in it, but I didn't really feel like doing anything, so I'm glad I stuck in and did some anyway, and managed to get some done. So next episode probably is going to be bodywork, I would think, because the only thing really left to do after that is mechanical work, so definitely want to put that off till last. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.